essential question. How can you define shapes using their attributes? How can you use shapes to create composite shapes? I can use shapes to make different shapes. We're going to continue discussing 3D shapes. Today, you are going to review shapes in French by using the link at the blue triangle to travel to Europe to learn shapes in French. So this says, are these all the same kind of 3D shape? So looking at these shapes, you can tell just because they're turned a separate way doesn't make them a different shape. All of these shapes are the same shape. They are all rectangular prisms. So we define 3D shapes by the shape and number of faces or flat surfaces and the number of edges and vertices. Just because the shapes below are the same color or size, that does not mean that they are the same. So just because these are all similar in color does not make them the same shape. We have 3 different shapes. We have a rectangular prism, we have a sphere, and we have a cube. Color, size, and direction don't define a shape. We have a cube, a rectangular prism, and a cone. Every time I see a cone, I think of ice cream. So on this slide, you have a quick video that you are going to watch, and you have your daily review. So you've got a few activity slides today. So these are similar to what you're going to see when you get started on your Envisions pages. This says circle the words that are true for the shape. So let's look. All cylinders are blue. Thinking back to that page that we just looked at, we know that color does not define a shape. So no, all cylinders are not blue. All cylinders have 2 flat surfaces. That's correct because over here on this one, you have 1 flat surface here and 1 flat surface here, so you have 2 flat surfaces. They have 5 vertices. No. And they are open shapes. No, because an open shape is not actually a shape. So they have 2 flat surfaces. You can complete the example of spheres on the bottom. On this next one, match each shape with the words that describe it. One shape is already done for you, and that is the rectangular prism. So we are going to do the sphere. So looking at the word sphere, does the sphere have 6 faces? No. Does it have 1 vertex? No. Does it have 8 vertices? No. No flat surfaces. Correct, so I'm going to draw a line. And there can be more than 1 item or more than 1 thing to the other side. 1 face. No. No vertices. Correct. So a sphere has no flat surfaces and no vertices. Make sure you complete the rest of those before you move on. Your quick write today. Before I read the quick write, make sure you handwrite. That means write on a separate sheet of paper. That does not mean write on the slide or type on the slide. Handwrite. We want to see your handwriting. Handwrite your answers to these 2 questions on a separate sheet of paper and upload onto this slide to receive your credit. The question says, 2 students were talking. John says 3D shapes are just like 2D shapes. They have sides and angles. Well, Joey says 3D shapes are different from 2D shapes because they are not flat. Do you agree or disagree with the student's statement? Why or why not? So take a minute, think about what those 2 students said, and tell me 1 or 2 sentences as to why you agree with them or disagree. And over here, our second question, how is a cube like a square, and how is it different? Tell me 1 way that it is similar, and tell me 1 way that it is different. And then your final activity for today is to complete your Envisions pages 783 to 786. You have slides to upload at the end. Have a